bigger than I thought he was gonna be. There's a saying, it's, if these old walls could talk, what would they say? And I feel the same way about like cottonwoods in this country and fence posts and old homes, you know, homesteads that were put in place in the Great Depression maybe. Like, this country means a lot to me. It's a very important part of our year to come up here and hunt during some of the best days of the year, just for a lot of reasons, but there's like a kind of just a history here for me. And I've been hunting here over 20 years, I guess now. And I don't know, very nostalgic, and I kind of grasp onto that a little bit. I have a lot of sentimental feelings and value in my life, I guess. We're in Kansas, we're hunting deer, it's the rut. Bow hunting in this country. I mean, you can probably see back behind me, like there's some trees. We don't have that blessing on a lot of the properties we hunt. It's open, and bow hunting in that is tough. The deer don't have a whole lot of pattern. You got to hunt saddles and stuff like that. It's just there's no trees, right? And you got to shoot them off the ground in the wide open. It's tough. And you probably saw KC do it last year off the ground. And it was impressive, man. That was a really cool hunt. There's only a few guys I feel like that can make stuff like that happen, and he's one of them. But it's beautiful weather. I mean, it's probably in the 70s by now. It's cooling back off, fixing to be sunset in about 15 minutes. And we're just glassing. We saw a monster like a mile from a property that we can hunt. But we're just glassing a bunch of country back here behind us right now, just kind of for fun, and go fix dinner up for the guys. Casey and Greg are glassing another property right now. We don't have a whole lot that we can look at very easily right now without messing it up. So we're just kind of waiting for the morning, probably do some glassing in the morning, who knows, make a plan with KC at camp, and then the evening is when a cold front comes in and things should really just go nuts. I mean, you're talking about second week in November in Kansas. I'm so blessed to be able to do this, for sure. It's awesome. So it's a cold front day, November 8th. Foggy, as you can tell. It's coming in right now. Got a northwest wind. It's starting to get kind of cold, especially if you're from Texas. And we're gonna slide down in this drainage right here, this little offshoot, and glass the whole big drainage. There's been some big bucks around, but cameras have been slow with this heat wave. So let's go see if we can glass one up and make a move in this wind on him. I've got some rattling horns, so maybe that'll make a difference. Definitely feels like the kind of day that you would see some deer moving and cruising and that kind of thing. It's weird out here. There's just like pockets, doe family groups. It's such vast country, and there's only so much food on this landscape. And you can add a little bit to that, but it still only typically is found and supports a small number of deer. So you're really looking for bucks that are doing a lot of cruising right now. And I can see quite a ways, but there's a lot of roll to the land. So even down in the bottom of this draw, I can't see if there's a buck down there along the draw, the very bottom of the draw, for sure. I'm kind of thinking about going up here to the north a little ways and trying to get up higher and see a little bit more down into that stuff. But we haven't seen any deer this morning. And I mean, I can see probably nearly a mile of country. Just can't fully see it. Like I said, it's thick down there. They got a lot of rain this summer. They're susceptible to calling because they don't run into deer all that often. They got to go long distances out here. It's just low deer density. So I guess I just need to find a shooter and make a call to him or get in his way as he's cruising, you know. Well, we're heading to get groceries and corn and stuff kind of early because the wind is just making me nauseous. I mean, trying to focus in and pick out a gray deer on a gray day in a gray landscape while the wind's blowing, you know, anywhere from 15 to 30 and tumbleweeds are going across the landscape. It's just dizzying, truly nauseous is what it's making me. So we got those some things to do to kind of just make sure, you know, even on private land, there's the middle of the day grind kind of doesn't stop. You still have to get after it and work. A lot of times, especially when you're, you know, pretty far from home. So that's what we're gonna do. Battery up some cameras and see what our best options are, and eat some stuff.
I headed to camp and met with KC to do a little game planning and get the normal comedic uplift before quickly making my way to another property in hopes of seeing a little more life on the landscape.
Baby, I'm a devil accent.
Fixing to head in a little bit late. We had the podcast, but today we're going in where I killed last year on the first sit, November 1 last year. It is now the 8th. So we're a week behind, but very similar conditions. It's windy, sunny. Just a week later, they should be doing the thing. We don't know what's going on down here. Camera's been dead, so we got batteries in it this morning, and we're back. We're gonna sit tight, actually in a different tree because of the wind, and I really hope to shoot a big 9-point that my dad passed several times last year. The deer could be really big this year if he's still around, so excited to see what's on this property. And tonight is where it starts. There's a good trail right here for deer to come in. Scent check this area right here. On this trail, I've seen them do it before from this stand, right? And our wind is barely missing them. And I think it's brisk enough that it's not even gonna have a chance to kind of waft down in there and drift. So I think it's gonna be really good. The chances that a buck comes in right here along this are pretty high. I feel like if we have one come in, he's gonna be nose into the wind. I think he's good, and we're gonna smoke him. I don't know. I'm really pumped all of a sudden, even though we don't know what's around. It's really particular what I can shoot on this property. I can't just
shoot any deer. I have to shoot old deer. They don't have to be big, they just got to be old. So, and there's a few of them around typically, so it's exciting. I've had a couple of really cool encounters from here. The goal is just to shoot a big old mature buck during the rut on this trip, right? And I'm gonna make it happen. There's been a lot of cool encounters at this stand, even though I haven't hunted it a ton. It's a really interesting spot. It's super remote. There's ag up there, lots of places to bed up and down this. Very remote, like I said. And a lot of deer should come from this direction up past this on their way. And I mean, it's November 8th. Like, it's not blazing hot, but it's warm. They should still be on their feet right about now. So, I mean, we don't have a ton of time left before the sun really goes down behind that hill, and then actual sunset will happen after that. So, I'm gonna get my eyes peeled. It's super windy. We can't really see that great because there's timber and it's all moving and stuff, but same for them, right? So that's a good thing. I'm fixing to find one and get it done. Hey, right here, right here. There's a buck. heard something sound like another deer coming from the south. I don't know for sure. She looked at it. Yeah, for sure something. Careful, this doe. Sick. Look. I'm shaking like a leaf, dude. This is awesome. Golly, I'm shaking. I thought it was gonna shoot. All the time, man. All the things he's doing. Dirty yards. Goes like 25.
All the deer finally worked past up to the ag, and I left excited to get back in the stand the next morning.
Okay, it's the rut. They've been trying to get me to do one of these all year. Smelling salt. Pop it in half,
In the middle, you just pop it, squeeze it.
and then you smell it.
I know how this is gonna end.
I always go light.
Go light.
I go heavy.
You would. See, they're used to it.
There's a, you want me to do it for you?
Yeah.
See that circle?
Yeah. You just pop it.
Oh.
Oh.
They have to throw you under the bus, they'll justify it.
That's right. And then that's how it's. I actually took some peace to think about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's sad.
You know what it's like?
It's the way it goes.
It's like if you jump into a really heavily chlorine pool
Yeah.
and you just went up your nose.
Yep.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know why y'all like those.
I know. I'm awful, I'm telling you.
I'm not awake any more than I was. It's just my nose hurts now. Oh, gotta get breakfast. Oh. Ah, hold on my back. Why's my back hurting?
Season up.
Sizing
up.
Okay, so we're actually getting in a tree this morning. It's not quite as cold as I thought it would be. The same thing for the whole yesterday, right? The cold front didn't do what we thought it was going to do. It's 43, so it's better than it was. It's freezing cold for a Texan like myself, but it's just not. It's not like, you know, ideal maybe. You know, for rut temps, but it's the 9th, I think. So I mean, they should be doing the thing. We saw them doing it last night. So we're gonna try to get in here in the, you know, nice and dark pre-dawn hours and make this thing happen.
It's pretty cool. Just walking down that edge and sniffing this whole drainage. We got a weird backdraft right now. I wonder if that draft happens a lot on calm days, and it's a reason that they go up there and feed and come back through this way at night. Or if that's just kind of a thing that's happening right now for whatever reason. Kind of a slow morning so far. That Big 10 that came through, he was nice. I've seen him on camera. You know, it's kind of helpful when you think about trail cameras on a property like this that, you know, they want a specific type of deer, like a 5-year-old plus type of deer. You know, when a Big 10 comes through like that, you know, oh, that's the short G2 10 that I've been seeing. I don't think he's 5. And, you know, he's kind of narrow and boxy, and you don't have to make a real quick decision. I want to be a good member of this hunting property, you know what I mean? I want to make sure I don't do something that other guys are like, oh man, that could have been a good one, right? Because that deer out there might be a good one, especially if his G2s will grow in a couple of years. So, but outside of that, it's been pretty slow. I've glassed up this direction towards that ag food source up there. And there's a lot of elevation, so at any moment something could pop over the hill and show itself. But I don't see anything moving surprising, because there was a lot of deer in here last night eating. Well, hanging here a little bit longer. I don't know what KC's been seeing, but I know he was going to kind of sit back and glass and try to make some moves on deer if he saw them in that big canyon where we were at yesterday morning.
The wind set up better for me to hunt a different property for the evening, so I headed that direction. All
right, Michael just dropped us off, and we're going in for the first kind of real hunt on this property. It's wide open. There's one tree on the whole property, and it doesn't sit in a place that's very advantageous to hunt for us. So it's weird to walk in a place like this, you know, because if a deer's on its feet, or even if it's bedded up higher, it can see you. And so it's kind of spooky. You kind of got to rely on their instinct to just stay bedded overall, right? Even if they see you from a half mile, then you go in, you disappear out of their vision, go in, set up for an ambush, and they kind of forget about what happened an hour or 2 hours earlier, right? So there's been deer coming to, like a shooter buck, a big 8. I think KC saw him this morning. That's been coming to this corn over here, but we let the corn go dry about a week ago, and it's been pretty dead around here. We tried to freshen it up, and hopefully it'll work. There was definitely deer there last night on the Moultrie cameras, so pretty exciting to go in and set up ambush on this new property where there's big old shooter bucks around. So I know there's a lot of chasing down this way, so maybe they'll work their way back up this afternoon and give us a shot. Sucker was bedded right there. 35 yards, maybe less. Thankfully not one of the big shooters. Going around the corner now. Trying to get set up. He heard us, it didn't like it. But he didn't know because it just sounded like a bunch of crunching, right? And they got a bunch of cows in here, so he probably just thought we were a cow or something potentially dangerous, but didn't know, and so he got out of here. He never really looked back.
be a good morning. I hunted the spookiest place on planet Earth the next morning on the treeless property. A young buck and 3 does peeped me in a bad way. I never felt like I really had a chance. After lunch, a wind shift, and some back in black, I was pumped to get back in the saddle again.
Singing and playing them guitars.
The wind has kind of turned back around out of the south, which actually this drainage hunts okay on the south in the evenings, just depending on where they come from. They don't always come from the same direction, but a lot of the deer come up this drainage back here and work up to ag food source in the evening. So it's kind of what I'm banking on. Like a predominant southeast wind actually kind of goes right down the drainage, so I've just got to pick the better wind of the two stands on whichever side of the draw. But generally speaking, those deer are going to work down through the draw and up to a food source that's like 3/4 of a mile from our stand locations over here. So throw some milkweed when we get there and see which way it goes, and that's going to determine our stand location. So I'm really excited. There's been a bunch of bucks on this, and the good thing about, low deer density country is that you got a lot of cruising action that happens. These deer are used to traveling miles and miles, and they can do a mile in 20 minutes real easy, right? So just got to hang in there mentally and know that things can change at any time. You see the biggest one that's close to us? Source, so it's kind of what you expect once they get past you. About this time yesterday, or last time we hunted here, there was a big buck that showed up literally like right as they were leaving. Like it was, they almost saw each other, somehow they didn't. So it's about that time. Buck time. sounds. He's smoked, dude. I hit him good. Is he gonna go down there? Oh, he's running forever. There he goes. He's going right there. Go. He went over. Oh my goodness. You know what deer that is? Okay. So in 2021, you and I sat down there and we were watching two different bucks. The one you filmed, that's him. I'm almost 100% sure. Dude, he's big. I was surprised. I don't know if that's the deer my dad was hunting or not. He smelled our ground scent right there, and I thought he was gonna walk up because he stomped once. And it was just like, I try not to touch stuff too much when I walk through, you know? And I guess there wasn't enough on the bushes and stuff. He just kind of got through. Dude, I'm shaking. I almost didn't have enough time to shake. I heard him, and I was like, where is he? And then you go, buck. And I was like, he's somewhere over there. I'm shaking bad, dude. Takes my dad. Guess we don't have time for it. Holy smokes, dude. Give me that, dude. I have seen some deer use the top of this lip, and I was not expecting him to be there. That's like about the last place I would have thought I would shoot a deer tonight. So I'm sorry that the shot's not on video, but I am shaking. It's a big frame deer. I kind of feel bad because I think that's the one my dad was hunting. He's not gonna, you know, he's gonna be super excited. He wanted me to hunt down there where he's hunting. But I'm pretty sure that's the deer my dad was hunting. He ran forever. I hit him a little bit low, but I think I probably heart shot him. Oh, dude. I'm shaking. That was awesome. That's a big 10-point, huge frame. His fours are a little bit small, and they were that last time we had encounters with him in 2021. But when I saw him and I thought that was the deer, I knew immediately. I was like, oh, this deer's mature. Like, he's 5-6 years old. He's minimum 5. I think he's a 6-year-old because I think he was 4 in 21. But I was hunting a big 11. And the buck I shot in 22 in 21. And first day in here, out of this tree last year, I shot the buck that we were hunting, one of the bucks we were hunting in 21. And we had seen that deer down there. I was sick as a dog. We hung a set down there one morning. And that other buck, the big 11, and him came out at the same time. I rattled them in. And Eric filmed him. And I was looking at the 11, never saw that one. So we were confused. Like, Eric was filming this buck. I was looking at the 11. And he thought he was looking at the same deer I was looking at. And I thought he was filming the deer that I was looking at. And I never even saw this deer. And there's crazy confusion happened there. But anyway, that footage, we're rolling it right now, I'm sure. But like, it's cool footage. And we have a couple of encounters of that buck, but that wasn't the big one that I was after. Fast forward 2 years, my dad showed me video on his cell phone the other night of a big frame 10 walking away. And he never gave me a good look, really. He was walking away and he was kind of head down. And I never could see him. But he was a big frame, I knew that. And my dad was hunting him. I thought, man, maybe he'll come up here, but probably not, because I'm hunting like a mile from my dad. And lo and behold, the rut strikes. he was just cruising for does, and he just went up top. He took a look in this big wide bottom where these creeks come together, and he's going up and over. Might have been going to get some water because there is a cistern over there, and then probably heading up to the wheat field this evening. So again, I'm sorry, we do the best we can, but in the rut things get crazy and you just don't know where they're going to be, and that's not where I think they're going to be, you know. I think the shot was going to be like 23, 24. Let me look. 24. I shot my 20 and it hit just a little bit low, but it was, I mean, it's probably hard. It's probably why he ran so far, honestly. He was bleeding a lot, but a long shot, they don't run very far usually for a double long. That heart shot, they can go a little bit further sometimes, but we'll see at some point. We'll see for sure. Man, that's awesome. I'm shaking bad, y'all. I texted Casey and my dad. We'll see what they have to say. Alrighty, let's go get the arrow. So he came down over here, which is where we had a big kind of, let's see, in 21 actually, had just a basketball-headed buck, old nasty 8-point come off that hill and slipped right down here by our tree. And this guy did the same thing, except he came up and caught a ground scent right here and then carried up here. And I knew I was going to grunt stop him, but then I thought, he's fixing to stop. Once he gets up to the top and he sees up on the top, he's going to stop and look. I'll shoot him there. Barely got a range. Like I said, I think I ranged 19 to like right here, and I shot him. He's probably 22, 23, 24. He was standing like right here, and I just looked. There's blood like immediately. Blood there. Was he standing right here? How did blood get over there though, if he was standing here? Did he stumble out? I guess so. Where's the arrow though? I've had the hardest time finding my arrow. Blood there, blood there. I mean, I know where he is, I just want to find that arrow. It might have punched through, broke off, fletching inside or something. Guess we'll just walk over to him. You know, one thing I've really recognized over the last couple of years is like how tough these animals are, especially like some of these plains deer that just don't have shelter for hot summers and cold winters. And KC, with his South Dakota buck this year, proved how tough these things are. It's unbelievable. Like, I had the utmost respect for these animals. It's the weirdest thing. You know, I think guys like Donnie Vincent and, you know, Meat Eater, I guess, some of these people that, Steve, you know, have tried to help people understand why we hunt these things, why we shoot them, why we're happy when we kill them quickly, or kill them, period, right? It's a hard thing to understand. It's a hard thing for me to verbalize too, like, because I have a little bit of like this kind of remorse and regret a little bit right now too, because the hunt's over, I killed something, but I'm also extremely happy that it happened very quick, because it doesn't happen quick for these animals out here. They die in the cold of winter, getting eaten alive from the back end by coyotes and stuff like that, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it's been for a long time, and that's about as quick as one can go out right there. So I am excited about it. I'm really excited, but it's hard to understand for people who don't do it how I can be excited about that, but also love these animals so much and think so highly of them and respect them so much, and to the point where, like, when I was little, I drew pictures of them and stuff, you know, like all the time. That was all I did. Even when I wasn't little, when I got old, I started drawing pictures of them still again, you know. It's like, I just love these things so much. They're cool. They're really cool, but they're tasty too. It's just... There he is right there. Holy smokes, dude, he's big. Holy smokes, he's big. Holy smokes, he's big, dude. Oh my goodness. Look at that animal. Oh my goodness, dude. He's huge. And just an old battler. Look at the head on that thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that, dude. Incredible. Look at the head on that animal. He's a monster. Oh my goodness. He broke his brow tine. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's gotta be hard. Just smoked him. Oh my goodness, he's huge. His frame is ridiculous. He's bigger than I thought he was gonna be. Like body and antlers. That frame is ridiculous. He's gonna be 20. I think he's gonna be 20 inches wide. Oh my goodness. Look at the head on him, dude. He's mondo. Unreal. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than like thank you to the creator for creating such a cool animal. And thank you to my dad for, like, I owe my dad so much, man. He doesn't think of it that way. I know he doesn't. But listen, y'all, from the time that I was little bitty, I went and watched this summer VHS tapes of me using my dad's video camera that he bought to video a duck, a teal, one teal, sitting out in front of my dad's fishing lodge. And I just talked about how cool it was. And that was my first hunting videos, you know? Like, that's what I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to do this for a long time. My dad has not only given me lots of opportunities to shoot awesome things like this, from monster deer to speckle-bellied geese to banded canvasbacks out in front of his fishing lodge. I mean, my dad has just helped me to do that, but then he also helped take care of me in certain moments whenever I was chasing the dream that I'm doing right now, which is hunting for a living. This is what I've always wanted to do, and somehow it took a long time, and I know it's at points he was thinking that, you know, is my son just chasing a dream that doesn't ever come to fruition? Is he doing what he's supposed to be doing? Should he be making more money and taking care of his family better? I know he's probably thought that, but he never said it. He supported me by giving me opportunities, taking care of my family when I needed it, helping buy stuff here and there, and just being a good dad. And I'm very thankful that I'm holding this buck, because my dad was chasing this buck too. And I know he would appreciate it every bit as much as I have. I've already shot a bunch of deer this year, but I know he wouldn't want me to pass it if it was at 20 yards, because that's incredible. Oh man, sorry y'all, trying to hold it together, but that's incredible. That's a huge frame. Very thankful right now.
For brief moments in our lives, history intersects with the present. My generation loves nostalgia, and I'm one of them. It's pretty special that I had crossed paths with this reclusive buck
2 years before and had Eric in the tree with me for both encounters. Even more special is that both KC and my dad were in camp with me on this night. Good, selfless hunting buddies are hard to come by, and when you get to celebrate a big buck or a good hunt together, it makes a memory that can last a lifetime.
Yeah, he's 20.
This is why I love deer hunting.
You gotta tell them.